The other turrets are in a bad location. Medic Marines now just moving in. Very good economic harass here by Luxury, doing a pretty good damage now. Being forced to run away as soon as the Medic Marines run in. Pretty decent harass there. He took a little bit of damage, but overall not too much. Weapons 1 upgrades, meanwhile, now ready for Hwasin, and Luxury putting out even more Sunkens at his main. He's fearing a push, and it is coming. There are actually a contingent Medic Marines that are running in that location. Not going to be doing anything, but this harassment going off very well. I think, what, 7, 8 SCVs being taken down, even more of those turrets getting rid of, and some Medic Marines losing their life needlessly. The supply depot also taking a lot of damage. That might actually go down as well. It's going to, of course, not going to really help this. The medics now being helpless victims of the Mutalisk harassment, and those SCVs all just sitting there being poor victims. Nothing going to happen. Meanwhile now, Hwasin thinking of pushing, but wow, 7, 8 Sunkens going to meet him here. He has almost no forces aside from that, a couple of Zerglings, but a bunch, 9, 10 Sunkens. Holy crap, look at those Sunkens. Luxury going a little bit overboard with the Sunkens, I think. Of course, not going to let him produce that many forces. He is only on 2 bases. Okay, cancel a bunch of those Sunkens. That's fairly decent. You saw that Hwasin was actually not going to push him, but he's still doing that Mutalisk harassment. He has taken some damage. Quite a few of those Mutalisks have died, but overall, very successful harass. Has done a lot of damage. Now going to see more turrets there, and that's going to foil him now, finally. Meanwhile, Lurkers now on the way, and we're going to see whether Luxury tries to push out. Of course, also getting Queen's Nest off only 2 bases. This could be bad if he doesn't. If he tries to go for high tech on 2 bases, that's usually very hard for a Zerg to accomplish. Hwasin, of course, has 2 bases. Even if he took that economic damage, that doesn't really equalize the position very well for Luxury. Luxury now taking the 1 o'clock, so if Hwasin spots that, manages to prevent that, that's going to be very good for him. He should be able to just simply box in and hold Luxury inside of his base and just take a humongous economic advantage. Oh, Lurkers pushing out. Hwasin not wasting a scan, just going to back off a little bit, wait for those Lurkers to push out in the position they can take out. He just doesn't have enough Medic Marines in the location to really engage with Lurkers. There are 5 Lurkers there. And even if they burrow and you manage to scan them, you're just going to take too much damage. Meanwhile, Hive Tech now getting up for Luxury also has some Evolution Shapers going up. And meanwhile, 1 Science Vessel now in the air for Hwasin, and 5th Barracks also coming up, so he's going to pump some troops. He's now going to spot that 1 o'clock location, should be sending something to that place to do some sort of damage. Meanwhile, now Hwasin is moving out with his own contingent before. It has some Lurkers, Lings, some Mutals as well. Second Science Vessel coming up from Hwasin. Those 2 Science Vessels are going to be very much handy. There's no Scourge in the air so far, so no immediate danger. And there is going to be an engagement here. We're going to see who engages who. Hwasin trying to reposition his Marines. And a one irradiated going off on 1 of these Lurkers. Lurkers going to move in close, not going to manage to do really anything, not going to manage to bury before he dies. There is that 1 Science Vessel to spot those Lurkers, and a pretty decent size amount of Medic Marines. Meanwhile, no tanks out there for Hwasin. Okay, now first tank. As soon as I say that, first tank comes out. Jesus. Now, can engagement here. Some Mutalisk and Lurkers going to move in, not going to back off completely. Lurker loses his life there while they retreat. Lurkers running away as fast as they can. Some more Zerglings, also some Lurkers being burrowed there, trying to hold off that Medic Marine, doing a pretty good job. Hwasin doesn't want to move in on that. There is an SCV now. Marines moving on to the location. Nothing to defend. The SCV and Marines are going to defend that. Meanwhile, Zerglings, however, as well as Marines are going to move into that hatchery. The hatchery should be able to go down before Mutalisk get there. Hwasin's going to focus on that. The hatchery is indeed going to go down. Not going to be enough forces. There was a Sunken, desperately a Sunken trying to go down. At least, I think that's a Sunken, and that's not going to happen. Mutalisk aren't going to move in time to kill all of these forces off, but Hwasin doing a very good job of preventing Luxury from expanding. Luxury, of course, thinking if he expanded at a location where he wouldn't be caught, but he would be a little bit safer. That's a pretty good idea, but overall, Hwasin managed to catch him off guard. The Fowler's Mine now coming up for Luxury. What I'm fearing for Luxury here is, one of all, he's not killing Science Vessels. Now, already 3 Sensors out for Hwasin. He's going to be getting more, and he should be thinking of expanding even very soon. There are some Scourge out there for Luxury, but overall, Luxury is still on 2 bases, and he's not going to be able to hold this long. He now has Defilers on the way, and all of this that he is going is going to be so gas heavy for him and so mineral heavy. Just all in all, Hwasin doesn't really have to do anything at this point but prevent any humongous economic harassment and, of course, kill that expansion at the 1 o'clock. Luxury is trying to reestablish that. It has 1 Lurker blocking his positioning, so I believe Hwasin pretty much can tell that there is something on engagement. Moving in, Zerglings moving in with some Mutals trying to snap off a tank. Not going to happen. Oh, Scourge. We're thinking of moving in, but there were some Workers Mission Scourge gonna move in, not gonna manage to take out Science Vessel. Only one Scourge lands. Meanwhile, those mules gonna fly off as much as they can, gonna take out some tanks. Some tanks do go down. Medic Marines groups also go down, so no Medic Marines on the ground to take out that Mutalisk. One Mutalisk in the air is gonna manage to take them all down. Scans going off, trying to kill as many workers as they can. And Science is there to spot those, and the tanks, however, are going to be innocent victims. Medic Marines moving in. Why aren't you killing off the Mutalisk? Mutalisk are killing off your tanks. Hwasin, no. Hwasin apparently going to sacrifice those tanks. Moving in with some more Science Vessels, and there are turrets in the area. But Hwasin's going to just start moving downwards towards the middle. He has a fairly large Medic Marine group as well as some Science Vessels, so I think he might have some tanks there as well. The Farman, meanwhile, getting some upgrades going, probably some consumed for those Defilers. Weapons to upgrades now ready for Hwasin, so he can do so much damage. There is, meanwhile, only one Carapace on those ground forces for luxury. He's trying to reestablish, trying to get some forces ready on the ramp, but no, it's not going to happen. Science is going to spot that out. Zergi's trying to block it off, not going to happen. Radiate going off on that lurker, and that's going to kill the lurker. Going to see whether he waits for that or not. Yeah, he's not going to push in, he's going to wait. And this, of course, gives Luxury the chance to reinforce, but he's not going to do it. Luxury, meanwhile, is moving his own contingent of forces pretty close to Hwasin's base. Hwasin, meanwhile, now going to push in that lurker, almost dead, but not quite dead. He's just waiting for that lurker to die. And overall now, some troop movement going on for Luxury. He's not really sure what to move his Zerglings around. Lurker has now been killed. Hwasin, however, not going to push into that location. There's a scouting SCV being killed. Meanwhile, there are 2 starports now up for Hwasin, so he's going to pump a lot of Science Vessels. I think he doesn't, of course, he's not expanding due to the fact that he just doesn't want to overpush into the army. Meanwhile, now, Vulture's now out on the ground with mines. That's interesting. He's going to be able to plant some mines there, trying to catch some Zerglings off guard. Now, going to move it into the 1 o'clock. The 1 second to defend. That seems we're going to get taken down. This hatchery again going to take it down. Meanwhile, Armor 1 now upgrades ready for those ground forces of Hwasin's. And Hwasin is pretty much already taken this game. It's the second time he prevents that expansion from really getting some mining going. That's overall that. Wow, 4 Defilers on the ground for Luxury, but they're not going to really help him. Hwasin, of course, is not expanding simply because he doesn't want to overextend himself. He can stay on these 2 bases because his 2 bases are going to completely squash the 2 bases that Luxury has, and he's preventing Luxury from getting any sort of expansion. I believe Luxury is trying to expand at the 6 o'clock location, yeah, but if that gets caught again, he's going to be totally squashed there. Luxury, of course, he's been on 2 bases for far too long. He has to just not get more bases going, 1 or 2 from fully mining bases. He has to prevent exactly this from coming to Hwasin. Hwasin now has such a large contingent of forces that he's not really afraid of expanding one more time, just getting that mineral only, trying to push out his position a little bit, and he's been preventing Luxury from getting any sort of economic equalization. Oh, Scourge being killed, irradiated something there, more radiates going off on a bunch of lurkers and defilers. There are some Dark Swarm now up, and no tanks with siege, so there are some Zerglings going to be able to move in, but Hwasin can simply move back there. I'm moving mines in place, a tank being sacrificed to kill several wings. I'm not quite sure if that's economically viable there. Oh man, look at all those Science Vessels. 4 Science Vessels, or probably even more somewhere for Hwasin. He hasn't lost a single Science Vessel so far, just doing an awesome job overall, keeping those alive. Luxury has Armor 2 upgrades, Carapace upgrades, but overall just not keeping up too much in upgrades. I don't know how well he can actually afford to upgrade, because he's been mining off those 2 bases for so long. Finally has some mining, a little bit of mining going off at the 6 o'clock, but that's instantly going to get spotted out and crushed. And wow, Luxury is just such a bad position. I think at this point he can already freely GG, and there's just nothing. He's just basically digging his own grave, just waiting, and delaying his own death. Now going to move in finally, pushing with those Zerglings, with those lurkers, going to try to do a final attack. There are no Defilers, however. GG now coming out for Luxury, and Hwasin has taken this match, especially with all those Firebats here. Whee! Firebats, smoking cigars, and setting disgusting aliens and sometimes humans on fire. I wonder how it smells in that spacesuit. I mean, always smoking a cigar, always propane or whatever smell from those flamethrowers that they have attached to their arms. Must be awesome. I'm just joking. So yeah, Hwasin doing a pretty good game, just playing solid, standard game. Despite the fact that Luxury did a pretty good harassment, he just wasn't allowed to expand when he should have been, and that's pretty much how Hwasin got him. Just nothing spectacular or amazing or insane in this game, just very good, solid, standard StarCraft, really, especially from Hwasin. So if he manages to keep this performance up, he should be able to get rid of Luxury here. I called Luxury to win, but you never know. So GG guys, wrenching out.